Episode 22 of the BTB Project. In today's BTB short, we are going to be discussing the topic of forgiveness. It is one of the most important things that I've learned in my life to allow me to get to a point to do great things no matter the circumstances. In the episode, we're going to dive deep on what holds the importance of forgiveness. There are several different topics to discover, but most importantly, at the end, we're going to tap into an exercise that changed my life, writing letters to the very ones that have hurt us the most. To not just ask for forgiveness, but to forgive ourselves of that situation. You'll be inspired by the episode. If it encourages you, please like, subscribe. The BTB Project is so appreciative of your continued support. And if this impacts you, share it with a friend, and let's get into it.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you, baby.
Welcome to the BTB Project, designed to empower listeners to identify their why and to live their best lives no matter the circumstances. My name is Coleman Gerhardt, a former athlete and motivational coach. I've had the opportunity to inspire thousands through my story and help accomplish what they are built to be. You'll be encouraged by each and every episode, and let's get into it.
Yeah, when I blow up, I'ma soar high like Peter Pan. In real life, be living all my dreams. If I'm waking up, it's in a foreign land.
I have a lot of conversations around what holds us back in our life, or what stands in the way of doing extraordinary things, accomplishing goals, and going after life in a way that is above and beyond any stretch of our imagination. And one of the big topics that always comes up is this concept around forgiveness. And we, as people, spend a lot of time having bitterness or resentment, hate towards people that have given us a hard time in our life, or ones that let us down, or ones that put us in pain. And I just remember several years ago when I was trying to set big goals, I had a mentor of mine talk to me about the importance of forgiving the people that hurt me the most. In today's episode, we're going to tap into an awesome idea that my mentor gave me many years ago that I implemented that ended up changing my life. And I can't wait to share that with you. But before we get into that exercise, we got to really ask ourselves, what are the benefits of forgiveness? Listen, forgiveness can be challenging and it requires time and effort, but it offers an immersive benefits for not just your personal well-being, but your relationships, and creating a world that's just honestly a better place to live in. Forgiveness is deeply beneficial and significant in all aspects of relationships. And I want to discuss some of the reasons why forgiveness has an important place in my life and in all of our lives. The first thing is the piece of the emotional healing. Forgiveness can provide emotional healing for both the forgiver and the person being forgiven. By letting go of anger and that resentment or negative emotions, people can express a sense of relief, peace, and inner freedom. I see a lot of athletes that do these amazing things, and people always wonder why or how do they do it. I know a lot of great things that I've seen in my life are people that have a fixed focus, that have clarity, obviously have worked on their craft to get to where they are today, but they're performing at a high level because they don't have things weighing them down. And a lack of forgiveness in your life is absolutely one of those things that can weigh you down. Relationship repair. Forgiveness plays a critical role in repairing damaged relationships. When there's conflicts or hurting that occurs, forgiveness always allows individuals to move past the pain, rebuild trust, and foster healthier connections. It's a lot easier to do life with people than without them. There's a lot of times where, especially on your built to be journey, you might feel isolated or alone. But as you forgive the ones that have hurt you, it creates this ripple effect of putting yourself around people that will encourage you because you've allowed that rock in your heart that's been sitting there, that lack of forgiveness. You release it, you drop that weight, and it gives you an area where you can grow and nurture. And that's really the power of letting go of those people that have hurt you the most. Personal growth. Forgiveness promotes personal growth and maturity. It involves letting go and the desire of revenge, practicing empathy, and embracing a compassionate perspective. Through forgiveness, individuals can develop empathy, understanding, and resilience. For a lot of jobs that I've applied for in my professional career, part of that process is personality assessments. And one of the most interesting things that I take away from those, and I highly recommend you as the listener to check out Myers-Briggs, do the 15, 20-minute personality assessment just to see what your strengths and weaknesses are. But the number one strength that always comes up on mine the last 3 or 4 years is empathy. And I believe that I have high empathy because of the forgiveness that I've instilled in my life. And that also leads into the next important piece of forgiveness, which is the health benefits. Studies have shown that forgiveness is associated with various health benefits. Holding on to grudges or unresolved anger can contribute to stress, anxiety, and negative physical health outcomes. Forgiveness, on the other hand, has been linked to improved psychological well-being, lower levels of stress and depression, lower blood sugar, lower blood pressure, and just a happier life. It's amazing that when we hold on to things that have hurt us or reflect on people that we don't want to associate with, that make us frustrated, that make us mad, as we're thinking about those things inside of our head, it's creating a physical biochemistry moment in our body. It affects everything else. Think about that for a second. If you're able to release that lack of unforgiveness in your mind and your heart, it changes your body, it changes your health, it changes your life. And that's where we got to break the cycle. Forgiveness can help break the cycle of negativity and conflict in your life. By choosing forgiveness instead of perpetuating a cycle of revenge or resentment, individuals can contribute to more peaceful and harmonious events in their life. People's lives and the community that they put themselves around all changes when they get that lack of forgiveness out of their minds, out of their body, out of their heart. And if we want to do great things on our Built to Be journey, if we want to impact lives, be a light in the world, let it be known that forgiveness is the key to opening those opportunities. And one big thing that it really helped me with was the self-healing component. I had a lot of self-forgiveness that I needed that allowed me to let go of my guilt, learn from my past mistakes, and move forward with a self-compassionate and personal growth mindset. And spiritually too, the values that are instilled in faith, forgiveness is often considered a virtue in many religions and moral frameworks. It aligns with principles of compassion, love, mercy, and understanding, fostering a sense of peace and harmony with oneself and with others. Having that alignment, having that connection with what you believe in, what your mission is, allows for you to have a platform of doing things that you never thought you could do. So the exercise that changed my life, I want to share with you as the listener, and I want you to tap into it. When I was 14 years old, I started writing down names of people that hurt me the most. And as I wrote down those names, I thought about ways that they hurt me, that they let me down, that they made me sad, they scared me, they made me feel insecure. I can go down the list. And as I wrote those names down, I went and bought a big stack of note cards. And I started writing letters of forgiveness to each one of those people on my list. I was able to tell them how I felt. Told them that despite whatever you did to me, I forgive you. And I'm not expecting any sort of response or for you to acknowledge this letter. But this letter was for me to get this off my chest because I have big goals in my life. And I'll never forget one of the responses that I got. I had a great coach and mentor in my life that ended up starting a tennis business, and it ended up being one of my first jobs when I was in high school. And he fed a lot into me, invested a lot, knowledge, finances, anything you can imagine. And we had a falling out from that business. And he ended up being my college coach. Ended up kicking me off of the college tennis team because I was deemed emotionally unstable after my mom passed away. That he felt like I wasn't performing, wasn't being a good team player. And so he decided to let me go. And years and years and years passed. And although I started that exercise of writing letters of forgiveness when I was 14, I feel like I'm still in the process of writing those letters throughout my life. And there I was again in my 20s. And I wrote a letter to my old coach telling him how thankful I was for the wisdom and knowledge and encouragement that he gave me over the years. And although it was tough to have some of the circumstances happen between him and I told him I forgive him. Told him I loved him. A couple days later, I got a text message from him. And he just said to me, Coleman, you don't know what's going on in my life right now, but I just read your letter. And I just want to tell you right now that that letter was exactly what I needed at this point in time, at this very moment, at this very second of my life. I am so thankful that you wrote that to me, because that encouragement that you gave me couldn't make me feel any better right now. Thank you. We ended up reconnecting and staying in touch. He's a tremendous pro and actually owns a club in California. And I was able to send some of my former tennis clients to him. And believe it or not, just about a year ago, his very own son, who's a great player out of California, was in Colorado. And I got to work with his son. The coach that I forgave sent his very own son to seek my knowledge, my wisdom, share my experience to help his son. That's the extraordinary part about forgiveness. All of the people that have hurt you in your life, it doesn't mean that you have to never forget what they did. But it does mean you have to forgive yourself. So I challenge you as a listener. Write down a list. It might be 5 people. It might be 50 people. It might be 500 people. And on that list, get a stack of note cards. Write a letter to each one of them. And watch what it will do to change your life. I appreciate each and every one of you as the listeners. And these BTB shorts, the feedback has been tremendous. I'm going to keep coming with incredible content, topics, things that I've come across in the 20 years of being a coach and a mentor. Just pay it forward. We're all in this together. Impossible's nothing. Let's forgive and let's do great things. Take care.